Welcome to Bookstr News. I'm your host Gracie, and this is where we talk about all things bookish. First, let's start with an update to last week's story about authors speaking out against Florida book bans. Just to give you a quick recap of the situation, 80 books have been either removed or deemed unfit for students of Martin County School District's elementary, middle, and high schools. This number includes 20 of Jodi Picoult's novels and James Patterson's Maximum Ride. Parental complaints are really doing the trick in Florida right now. This decision by the school board isn't without pushback from our favorite authors, though. At the most recent school board meeting, group leader Julie Marshall equated herself with DC hero Wonder Woman, saying she's standing for morality. Now, this remark is funny for two reasons. One, Wonder Woman is a symbol of truth, justice, and equality for people everywhere. That doesn't exactly match up to what Marshall is doing, in my opinion. And two, Jodi Picoult is an author of Wonder Woman comics. A fact that she pointed out in this tweet. The mom who banned 20 of my books. FYI, I wrote Wonder Woman. You're not her. James Patterson, world-renowned author with legions of fans across the globe, is facing a similar predicament in the very same school district. The difference for Patterson is that his young adult fantasy series, Maximum Ride, isn't necessarily being banned. Instead, it's being blacklisted as unfit for elementary-aged children. Patterson responded to the school board's decision in an interview with USA Today. If you're going to ban this book, then no kids under 12 should go to any Marvel movies. I don't want to say he's right, but I'm not going to not say it. I love author clapbacks, y'all. Jumping a few states over, Texas is trying to get rid of, quote, sexually explicit books in public schools. Representative Jared Patterson is spearheading the Reader Act, the legislation that is attempting to rid school libraries of books inappropriate for children. In this act, Texas will require book vendors to rate their books with sexually explicit content. Though that may not sound bad at first, opposition to the act points out that the language used could lead to many books being removed from libraries, but specifically those with LGBTQ themes. Representative Patterson and other supporters have already labeled some LGBTQ titles as pornographic. So, just like Florida, the Texas government is trying to censor books that don't fit their ideals, something that really doesn't make sense in a democratic nation with free speech. As this news is still developing, we will keep you updated on any changes. Moving on, we want to shine a light on author Bobby Bostic's story. When Bostic was just 16, he and a friend committed an armed robbery, stealing Christmas presents and a car. Bostic was tried as an adult and received a 241-year prison sentence. Just one terrible mistake as a teenager changed Bostic's life forever. In prison, Bostic grew up into a kind and thoughtful adult. He spent his time reading books and started writing on his own typewriter, eventually going on to publish 15 books, from stories about life in prison to collections of poetry. The judge who issued the sentence, Judge Evelyn Baker, became close with Bostic and his sister and said it was the only sentence in 25 years that she regretted. Luckily, Missouri amended a new law and created a chance for parole for prisoners given long sentences as children. Because of this, on November 8th of 2022, Bobby Bostic was released after serving 27 years. The only item he brought with him into his new life was his typewriter. Now free, Bostic was surprised about how friendly people were to him. His first day out while at his sister's house, more than 400 people came up to greet him. Bostic says, "Out here, it's just good things. People smiling, little kids waving at you. It's like, this is what life is. This is normal. This is how things are supposed to be." If you want to support Bobby Bostic and his writing career, please check out his books and linked below. In lighter news, we have two big announcements for book adaptation fans. If you're a fan of Jenny Han's To All the Boys trilogy, Netflix has just announced a release date for a spin-off TV series called XO Kitty. The premise of the show revolves around Laura Jean's younger sister, Kitty, going on her own romance adventure and moving across the world to meet her long-distance boyfriend in South Korea. The romantic dramedy is set to premiere May 18th. Next, Michelle Zauner's best-selling memoir, Crying in H Mart, is getting a film adaptation and will be directed by Will Sharp. Michelle Zauner is the singer and songwriter behind Japanese Breakfast, and her memoir revolves around her relationships with her Korean family and mother suffering from cancer, all while trying to pursue music. Will Sharp, a director and actor who starred in White Lotus, said the memoir, quote, "felt very familiar to me. Like Zahner, Sharp also grew up between two different cultures, so Zahner described him as the perfect director for the film. And with that, what do you think about today's episode? We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. As always, I'm your host Gracie, and this is Bookstr News. If you want to hear more from us, be sure and check out our website. And we will see you next week.